This is RLC321's Fantastic Plastic coming back with another JJprise update build video thingy, my bobby. Now, finally, the other kit that I've ordered has come in with the correct part, and if I put the two together, you can see how much of a balls up, ouch, I have made of that. This is the good one, obviously, and that's the bad one. Okay, so that's going to go bye-bye. But as I said, I need to make a copy of this, and I'm going to be using crystal clear resin, this one here, so I can light these. If I go in there, if I bring it up close to you. So these bits here, I want lit up. Okay, so I'm going to have to, when I paint it, going to have to make sure that those bits are covered. And when I build this kit for, I think I may have another client build coming up for that one, I don't know yet. But even on this one, what I'm going to do is mask these inside and out before painting, and so then the light will just glow through it, which is what I should have done previously, but me being an idiot didn't. So I'm going to make a two-part mold of this little bad boy. And what I want to do first of all, just place it on a piece of card and get a rough measurement of how big I want to make this, because it doesn't have to be very deep. So about there should do. So it doesn't have to be very deep. Right, I need to mark it off, don't I, really? Let's get a pencil. So if I say about there, and here for the other one, and then these sides I'm just going to do about there. I think that should do. And on here, measure it up to about there. So that should be plenty, excuse me, plenty big enough for what I need to do. So the first thing I need to do, of course, first of all, is make a little area that I can put this in. Now, ideally, you should use Play-Doh or anything to pack it all out, but we'll go through that another time, because I don't have any Play-Doh. The store I went to didn't have any, so I'm having to make do, basically. So effectively, all we're doing here is making a box right now. And then get this one in about here. And what this is going to do, this is going to help keep everything boxed up. You can use Lego. I've used Lego before in the past to make a mold, but as I say, right now I don't have that. Oh, that's moved big lot. Oh, there we go. And we want, ouch, that's hot. Hot glue, hot glue. Well, it's a hot glue gun, so it will be hot, wouldn't it? Okay, let that dry off a little bit. So as you can see what I'm doing here, and I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Okay, I'm now back. As you can see, I've now created this little box, which is going to be plenty. We don't need it much bigger than this. And I'm going to have to create another one as well in a little bit, because I'm going to have to rip this all apart. But before we go any further, what we need to do is pack this out in the bottom. And I'm going to be using some blue tack. Now ideally you don't want to use blue tack because it may stick to the silicone. but for what I need to do, it's gonna be fine, because I'm gonna be coating it with some what's the word I'm looking for? Oh dear, I can't think of the word right now. I need it malleable as well, so I'm just stretching it a little bit. Vaseline over the top of it, just paint some Vaseline over the top of it. That'll give it something so it's not going to be sticky, and so the silicone shouldn't stick to it. In theory, it shouldn't. And just keep making this nice and warm so it works. As I say, ideally plasticine would be so much better for this, because this isn't what's going to keep this is just going to hold the mold, the piece in place. That's all this is for. So let's make sure that's dry in there. Point this in, flatten it and squinch it out a bit. Try and get it to all of the sides as much as you can. And really get it into all the sides. Because all this is for is to hold our piece in place. That's it. That's all it's for. Okay, what I'm actually going to do is cut off some of this to give me a bit more working room. There we go, that'll do. And see inside there a little bit better. Right, so then now, the only thing is this is going to be interesting. So what I might have to do is push this down, oh, bugger it, into here, as far as possible. And push it in. And I'm trying to get it so it's close up to the edges. Then those other bits I can do in the other part of it. Right, now it looks like I might need a little bit more over here, so I'm going to take just a little bit more. And just pack it out around that edge part. There. So if I lift this up a bit, come up there, and if I put that just in there, then lay this back down, there we go. Okay. Right. So we have almost got it. Okay. Doing that just down here. So I don't want the silicone to go underneath it. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to stop from happening at the moment, is for the silicone to go underneath it. Okay. Right, there. So, before we go any further, what I also need to do, I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to make some holes. And these are called guide marks. So when we pull it apart, we will know where's what's what, when, why and where. And this part here is still causing me a problem. So I'm going to have to put something around it here, just to stop it. Okay, that's fine there. Let's pull that little tiny piece off. And then plop that little piece in there. And there we go. Right, because I don't want that little hole filled up either. Right, so that's our mould. Now I just need to find out where I put my silicone. Not my silicone, my Vaseline. There it is. It's my Vaseline. Now I'm going to use a crappy brush for this. And all I'm going to do with the Vaseline, because you don't want it clumping or anything like that. Let's put this over there for now. So get some Vaseline. And just basically paint it on. This is the poor man's way of having oh, what's it called? Release agent. This is a poor man's release agent, that's what this is. But make sure you do cover, whether you're using Play-Doh or you're using blue tack, which I'm using, or something else. Always make sure you put a release agent on it, otherwise you're not going to get it off. And in an ideal world this would be all nice and flat, but this isn't an ideal world. And don't forget to put some on the actual piece itself as well. And I don't think that's covered in there properly either, damn it. There we go, next side. Needs to be done too. Okay. There we go. Right, okay. So that's pretty much that part. So now we need to put that to the side for the moment. And we need to get our silicone molds. I've bought the easy mold 1 and 2. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so I'm going to need 2 cups and something to stir it with. What shall I use to stir it with? What have I got? That will do. So I'm actually going to cut this in half because I want us to use 1 to stir the silicone mold and 1 to stir the resin. So there we go. Right, so 1-to-1. So basically it's just equal parts of each. So if I pour this in there, and if I go up to this line on both of these, and then we'll know that we're at a 1-to-1 mix. There we go, there's one. Wipe off the edge, because I've made that mistake before when I haven't wiped off the edges of things and it's gone tits up. It sticks inside it. Yeah, it's just a pain. So now we do the other one. And again, we're going up to the line. So that it's even on both sides. Wipe the said lid. And that's going to be what we're going to be using for our second part of the silicone mold. So put that to the side. Now then, what we need to do with this is pour one into the other. Okay, and then we mix it up. Ideally you should be wearing gloves as well. Make sure you get all of it around the edges. And how much time do I have? Okay, working time 8 to 12 minutes, so I've got plenty of time to mix it. Okay, so let's make sure. There we go. Right, so now I've mixed that. When you pour the silicone, start in a corner and then just let it spread. I think that should be enough. And as you can see, I've now wasted that a little bit, but that doesn't matter too much. I'm only using these silicone molds in for this one piece anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Right, so now I need to let that set. But before it does set, there's a few things I need to do. One, bang it and tap it. This should help minimize some of those air bubbles I've got in there, because it'll just rise to the top. So I'll bring you guys back when this is set. Right, okay, this has been doing for a good 3 hours. I decided to let it sit for 3 hours, so let's see if this has worked. Looks like it might have done. Okay. So there we go. Right, now I just need to take this out of here. And put this into there like that. Because now what we've got to do is make the mould for this. Let's get this blue tack out first. Okay. Pull it all off. Okay, so now we've got that. We've got our marks where things need to be. This is going to be where we're going to pour it, obviously now, it looks like. So what I need to do is put something in there so I can pour the resin in. And so for that, I am going to need let's just stay there. What should I use? Something like that may work. Actually, no, I think what I will do is that'll get blocked off. I'll make an incision here when it's finished, when it's all done, and then I'll be able to pour the resin in. So what I now need to do is get this blue tack off of here. Actually, we don't need that because I don't need blue tack at the minute. I now need to make another box. So I'm going to make another box and I'll bring you guys back in a minute. Okay, there we go. I'm just looking, making sure there's no leaks, and there doesn't seem to be any leaks, so we should be all good to go. And yes, I know I've got another waste, but doesn't matter. So now it's going to take another 2 to 3 hours for this to do. So I will bring you guys back once this is done, and then we'll go into the resin. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, I'm bringing you back. Reason I'm bringing you back, I don't think this is going to work. Main reason being, I went away for a little bit, came back a little while later, and this was floating towards the top. So, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work this way. I might have to figure out some other way of doing this, which means I'm going to have to buy some more silicone. Dear. Well, I'm going to let it sit for the 3 hours and see how it goes. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, okay. Suppose we'll see if this has worked or not. As I say, I don't think it's gonna, because I think it kind of got foobarred up. But there's only one way to find out, and that is basically to have a look. Right. looks like it's gone down the sides as well. Ouch. Knives are sharp. Right. I don't know, I think we might be in luck. Yes, it looks like we may be in luck. Okay. I think it has worked. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. And now what I need to do is create somewhere that I can actually pour the resin in. Be the best place to do that. I think it might be here. Thinking about it, yep, here will probably be the best place. Okay. Right. Okie dokie. Right, so I have, this is pretty much done as best as I can get it. Everything's all lining up. I've got a little hole I can put the resin in. So the only thing I need to do now is close it up. What do I have to close it up with? I've got this piece of elastic. Let's cut a couple of pieces of cardboard. Okay, and basically all we're doing now is giving a little bit of support to the rubber band. That should help close it in. Right. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay. So here now, it's hoping this works. So we're going to plonk that down there, and we're going to get our resin. So move that into there. Right, so as I say, use 2 to 1 on the resin. So we're going to get a cup. So let's have a little look see. So the 2 to 1, so I need 2 of A, and so there's 20 ml of A and then 10 ml of the B. That should be more than enough. Good. So we'll pour that into our cup. Okay, now we need 10 mils of B. There we go. I mean, really? Alright, so mix this up. Now this, we've got quite a long working time. I think it dries in 24 hours, so we're not going to know the results until tomorrow. So we just want to make sure it's well mixed, which it looks like it is now. Okay. So then, what we need to do now is pour this into here. So, that's what we're going to do. Little bits at a time. Some resins you don't have a lot of working time with them. But this one, I think you have like 45-minute working time. And it's leaking out at the bottom. Damn it, I knew that might happen. Let's... There we go, that should stop it. And I'm squeezing it because I'm trying to get as many air bubbles out as I possibly can. Oh, I think that should do it. Right, so what I'm going to do now though, just going to wipe off up here and wipe just there, but I'm going to put just a little bit of hot glue here just to help hold it into place. I think a little bit leaked out there. Yep, a little bit did leak out. Right. Now I think we're getting it. So we're going to let this dry and I'll bring you guys back tomorrow when it's ready. Hey guys, this is RLC's 321 Fantastic Plastic coming back again with another video update for the JJprise, and this is like the second day now, because I've had to do 2 of these so far, because the first one I've done the mix wrong, and I'm hoping this time I've done the mix right, as it's solid now. It's been 24 hours, so I am about to demold this, and let's hope that it's come out okay. And here it is. Just trying to get it all out without bending anything. And here we are. A little bit of cleanup here and there, but it looks like I may have to do it again, just because if you can see here, there's some holes where it hasn't taken quite correctly, so I may have to do it again. And I'm going to put it back in there because it doesn't seem to be fully 100% formed just yet. It's a little bit movable. So I'm just going to close this back up and just hold it into its place there. Because the holes that are there are where I want to put the lights, or have the light come through. But I just thought I'd give you a quick idea of what to do when you do resin casting. This is a pain in the ass. I've got a mess of stuff everywhere, and that's why I haven't been recording in a while. But as I say, it's almost there. I believe it's almost there. Yeah, I suppose we'll soon see. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is where the actual holes are, or the bubbles. It looks like I've tried to get as many bubbles out as I possibly could. But we'll see. I'm going to give it another hour, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more done by then. But there you go. That's pretty much all. Again, I'll show you. That is it in there, and it's got all the details and everything that we need. And the only thing is these bits over here, where there's a few air bubbles, which I might have to fix or sand out. I don't know just yet. As I say, it all depends on where those air bubbles are and that. But what we'll do, we'll let it dry fully, and I will have a look at it another day when it's fully dry, and I'll give it a thin coat of primer and have a little look. So I will see you guys in the next video. That's a very quick, nasty, not very good way. There's much better ways of resin. This is not the best way of doing it. I was trying to do it on the quick, just to get it done. But anyway, that's a very, very quick resin casting. You go in the holes there. There we go. Hey guys, RLC's 321's fantastic plastic. Well, no, I'm not coming back. What I'm doing is a continuation of the JJprise videos that that I'm going to put this at the end of. I have managed to make a copy of this. Okay, finally. It took about 4 goes. This is the mould that I was using, obviously. And the reason I didn't show you unmolding it is because I wanted to make sure it was done first. So I had to unmold it first. Yes, I did. Had to unmold it first, but there you go. That was the mould I used. This is the original part, which is now going to go back into the box of the kit that I bought it from. And this here is the part. Now, a few problems. I need to sand some of this down here a bit and here, and give it a little bit of a nice little sand to smooth it down on the top. But you may have noticed there's some air bubbles in it, which is fine, not a problem. We've got a couple of holes. I mean, this hole shouldn't be there at all. The only hole that should be there is right there, which is what I wanted. Got a slight hole there, but most of this is going to be painted white anyway. And once I've finished sanding it, I need to mask off the parts that I want to be glowing. Okay, and for that I'll have to copy what this is here. So as you can see, it is exactly the same, give or take. And it does fit. Now, would I do this again? No, I really wouldn't, because I absolutely hate this. But I'll be back in a minute because I need to check the email. Hang on. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's a few holes in it and things like that. But that's fine. That's not a problem. And as I say, I'm going to use this to cut out the masking templates. Okay. And because I'm not going to be able to get the full effect from this, I can barely see some of it, but not all of it. Obviously, I need to fill these gaps with filler, with these holes with some filler. But it's pretty much all there. Everything is there. I'm really chuffed with it, and obviously it's going to be painted white. So a lot of these cock-ups and things like that you're not going to see. I need to sand it down here as well, get it a little bit more flush with that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that it's worked. I've managed to get a clearish resin copy, so I'll be able to get my lights coming through. And I also am going to need to mask inside here as well, which is that'll be fun. But once I put the mask on here, I'll then be able to see where I need to mask on this side. Okay, so there you go, guys. I just wanted to finish off that video series that I was doing on making a resin copy out of a piece. And as I say, it's worked and I've managed to do it. So next video, this will be done and ready to be put on. So I'll obviously be working on this in the background, and I will see you guys in the next video. You take care of yourselves. Bye bye now.